Okay, welcome back, everyone. A lot of buzz, a lot of excitement out there. I hope you guys are enjoying the exhibitors and each other. A lot of what happens at this conference is just exchanging notes and meeting people, and I have a pocket full of cards. I have none of my cards, but I've got a lot of other cards, and I look forward to catching up with so many people who I've met in the last day and a half. So we're now going to move on to, really, for me, this is really, truly my favorite part, because as I started yesterday by saying that this is about patients. That's why this is in a hospital. That's why we're dealing with fire alarms. We could do this in a hotel where there won't be fire alarms. We're here because we're in a hospital, because there are almost 1,000 beds upstairs, and it's vital, truly vital, to hear from our patient partners, first and foremost, about what their experiences have been using virtual reality in their own healing, in their own illnesses, their own conditions. What works, what doesn't work. Sometimes things do not work the way we want them to work, and that's been a little bit of a theme that we've heard this morning, and we're going to hear more about that today during the patient panel. We'll also hear what's working, and during the scaling panel later this afternoon about some of just the pragmatic issues around using VR. So without further ado, I want to introduce Harmon Clarke. And Harmon is, where's Harmon? He's going to come up here in a second, but hold on, don't clap for him yet, because I want to tell you who Harmon is. Harmon was here last year, and those of you that were here last year, he coined this phrase, the bicycle of the mind. And that's why we titled his talk, The Bicycle of the Mind. And I don't know if you're going to talk about the bicycle of the mind again or not, but he had this notion that, VR allows him to do things that he couldn't do. And when we first met Harmon, and he'll tell you the story, I'm not going to steal your thunder, I was here in the hospital, and it was just remarkable to see how Harmon connected with the technology, but also had feedback and guidance, and we've really relied so heavily on Harmon over the last couple years just to think about what's working and what isn't working. He's a multi-talented man, and that's why we got a couple microphones behind me, so I'll save that for a moment. I just want to really thank Harmon for being here today. He's going to give a talk, and then we're going to introduce our other patient partners and our moderator for the next part of this panel. So thank you, Harmon, for coming up here and sharing your story with us today.
Yeah. Thanks,
Amen.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Good afternoon. My name is Harmon Clarke, and I'm here today because this device saved my life. Hold on, I need the clicker here for these photos. Yeah. Grab that, I think. Here we go, I got it. So growing up, I was one of the healthiest kids of all time. Never got sick, never spent a day in the hospital, never broke a bone in my life. That was until I was in high school. I remember sitting behind this cute girl in class, trying to get her number, as most high school students do, and my heart started to pound. And I was thinking to myself, this girl is cute, but come on, what's going on? So my heart rate increased, and it began to be challenging for me to breathe. I remember passing out and waking up in an ambulance on my way to Cedars. And that's when my Crohn's or ulcerative colitis started. The next year was probably the most challenging year of my life. I mean, the side effects from the medicines were almost as bad as the condition. I would have bleeding, pain, nausea, vomiting. And at 16, I was at the prime of my life. I played 5 sports in high school. I was in choir, Boy Scouts, debate team, you name it, I was a part of it. But over the next year, I had pulmonary nodules on my lungs as a side effect. I had a spinal tap and then a blood patch epidural because the hole didn't close. And my favorite, the side effects from amphotericin B. And some of you doctors may know about this. They call it the devil's drug because of the side effects. The side effects from this drug cause temperatures of 105 degrees, fevers, chills, sweats, and my favorite, hallucination. I remember being in this hospital room, shivering, having 2 nurses hold me down while I screamed at night. And this is pretty much how my year went. At the end of that year, I lost 50 pounds in 4 weeks. I was NPO, I couldn't eat or drink anything. And literally, I thought I was gonna die. The doctors came in and told me they had to do emergency surgery. They would have to remove my large intestine and put an ostomy bag on for the next year. And I remember just being depressed and totally depleted. Why is God punishing me? I thought I did the right thing. I thought I lived a good life, but here I am facing death. But I remember at that time, my friends would come to the hospital every single day because as a kid, you naturally know how to escape. We'd come and play video games, cards, dominoes, sing, do whatever we could do just to get out of that hospital. And to be honest, my favorite thing, this may sound a little devious, but I had a heart monitor that I wore all the time. And if my heart rate got too elevated, it would start to beep. And I knew how to manipulate the heart monitor. So my best friend, he would get me in a wheelchair, and he was the class clown. So we'd roll myself in this wheelchair down the hallway. We found a crowded group of people, and then he'd push the wheelchair over. I would make my heart monitor go off, and the people would come up. And then he would immediately get me back in the chair. We'd roll down the hallway, and then just watch the people from afar. And these are the things like that I had to do to escape. I couldn't stay in that hospital. I couldn't stay in this place where just death was surrounding me, or else I would give up. So at that time, I was on a morphine pump for a few weeks, and I remember the clouds started to fog over my mind, and I couldn't think straight. We went down to the mezzanine level one day to play chess with a friend of mine, and I remember I couldn't think about the move next. My mind had just gone, and that was honestly, as much as the pain is challenging, when the mental fog comes over, I was talking to one of the patients, he said he deals with this every other week. It's a scary place to be. So I had to make a decision at that time whether I was going to deal with the physical pain or the mental fog. So I remember going back up to my room and telling the nurse, like, you've got to disconnect this pain machine. I don't want to live like this. I'm not going to make it if I stay on this path. And so I needed an escape, and that's when me and my friends decided to make a bucket list. I'm sure most of you know what a bucket list is, but it's not something that a 16-year-old kid thinks about. But I needed an escape, so I thought of all the things I wanted to do, the places I wanted to go, the things I wanted to experience before I died. And to be honest, I never thought I was going to make it. This was just my dream that I had to put out to the world. So the next year, my body continued to heal. I recovered, ended up going to college, and over the next 10 years, all those things on that bucket list came true. I was at business school in Hawaii on a scholarship, headed to China, studying Mandarin, when I found that list from the hospital. And I sat in tears in my room and just cried when I realized that all these things had come true. And that's when my Crohn's flared up again. I was doing 20-hour days, 7 days a week in business school, and I loved what I did, but it was just too much for my body. So my Crohn's started to flare back up. The internal bleeding, the pain, the perianal fistulas. I couldn't sit, I couldn't walk, I couldn't leave my room. The pain was just overwhelming. The doctors prescribed oxycodone at the time because it was either find something to manage the pain or, I literally thought I was dying at the time. So over the next 3 years, my pain just got worse and worse until I ended up back at Cedars 3 days before Christmas. I'm 108 pounds. Like, I'm thinking my life is over, and I'm just cursing, like, God, why? Every time I get to a good place where things are going right, like, really? Bleeding, like I couldn't eat food. I couldn't leave my room. I couldn't even see my family. I was quarantined because my immune system was so low. The doctors came in 3 days before Christmas and told me I'd have to have another emergency surgery. And at first I was like, all right, come on, you guys. Like, let me go home for Christmas, New Year's. I'll come back. We'll do the surgery. And he says, no, I don't think you realize how serious this is. This could be potentially fatal. We should be operating right now. And I remember when the doctor said those words, like this chill just came over my body. The fear was overwhelming. And I had no way to cope or deal with it other than the pain medicine that would later lead to addiction. And that's when Dr. Spiegel's team came into my life. I remember him coming in with this big clunky device, these huge headphones, and him telling me that this could potentially help with my pain or anxiety in the hospital. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you better get that out of my face. Like, you have no idea what kind of pain I'm in right now. You better bring my pain meds in, get this guy out of here. But, I had nowhere to go, so I was like, all right, I'll try this out. I've seen the commercials with the people waving their hands. I'm like, this is good marketing, but like, really? Is this really how it works? So I remember putting the headset on, and I was in, depression had started to set in. I was in constant pain. I couldn't eat or drink anything. And I put this headset on, and you had the option to travel to different places. I could go to Yosemite. I could swim with the dolphins, a dream that I had always had, or I could go to Iceland. So I put the headset on, and I remember being transported directly to Iceland. I was in a helicopter, looking over waterfalls. I could feel the sun radiating down on my skin. I could hear the birds chirping. And for those few moments, I wasn't in the hospital. This was the first time I realized that I could escape using something other than these pain medicines that had been given to me. So I continued to work with the virtual medicine team, and they showed me ways to meditate. Because in the hospital, one of the hardest challenges is sleeping. I mean, the doctors and nurses coming in constantly throughout the night to take your blood pressure. They're poking you at 4 or 5 in the morning. So sleep is one of the hardest challenges. So in the virtual reality, there's a meditation place that I get to go every single night. And as soon as I put the headset on, I was just taken away from my bed, and I was transported to a sandy beach. And as the sun set over the horizon, I could see the moon come up, and I started working on breathing exercises. And the more I breathed, the more the fire came up. And I could see the fireflies buzzing over the fire. And every night, this put me to sleep. I'm so grateful for this team because they showed me 3 very important things. They showed me that I could escape. They showed me how to manage my pain using something else other than opiates. And they gave me tools to cope with my condition. So over the next few months, I used virtual reality like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Anytime in the hospital I needed to escape, anytime the pain came on, like this was my go-to tool. But after I continued to get better, there was still another hurdle that I had to overcome. I've been taking pain medicine for over 3 years. And when I tried to stop taking these pain meds, the symptoms were horrible. The withdrawals, like the chills, the sweats, the shaking. So I had to seek professional help. About 10 months ago, I checked into a drug rehabilitation center to get help for my condition. And I'm happy to say that 10 months later, I haven't had to use pain medicine. I have had few surgeries and procedures. I only use Tylenol and the tools that I use in this system. When I go into the ER, when I have my procedures, I meditate. I go into a good place. I take my goggles with me everywhere. Anytime I go to the ER, I was just there on Monday having a procedure. That thing is with me everywhere I go. So I'm happy to say that regardless of my condition and regardless of any other patient's conditions, your dreams can come true. So these are the few pictures. This is me in Cairo. This is me in Brazil filming in Lapa. This is at Havasupai. All these things I wrote down on this list, they came true. Snowboarding at Park City, Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, that was a good one. This is me flying a plane over Los Angeles. This is me doing yoga. I'm happy to say that today, I'm a yoga instructor. I'm going on tour next week to Florida to be in a musical. I'm performing, and my dreams are coming true. This is me in Egypt. This is me in Kauai. This is me on my safari. And I'm telling you right now, this tool right here saved my life. And the more patients that we offer this to and get it in the hands of, like, I was in a deep, dark place. Depression had set in. Death was on its way. And I had no other option other than the pain medicine. That was all I knew. That was my only option. And then I found this. So I'm grateful for the team. This is me at Coachella last year. My mom forced me to go. Right after getting out of the hospital, I was like, Mom, I'm just going to be sitting all day. But the things that healed me are exactly what I learned in VR. I found that I could take my mind and body to a place without pain medicine. And that's what music and dance and theater does for me now. So this is me skydiving in Hawaii. All the things I put down on that list definitely came true. So today I want to share a song. Last year I was here in the hospital. I was at Cedars. And on the 7th floor, they used to have a piano. And every day after I did my VR meditation, I would go to the piano because the piano, when I'd play, it put me into the same zone that I was in when I was in VR. So it taught me the tools. So this is me with Quincy Jones hanging out. This is me in the hospital. I learned laughter yoga as a tool to manage and treat my symptoms. This is me last year in the hospital. I mean, I was literally 108 pounds. I was on my deathbed. I mean, I thought God was punishing me, literally. That's what I would ask all day. God, why are you punishing me? Why? And this is me last week. I've gained 45 pounds. My ostomy bag, I thought would be my ultimate setback. And incredibly, like, I call it my superpower. This isn't my disability. This is my superpower. It's led me to the things I never imagined would be the focus of my life. Like, I thought after I got my ostomy bag, there's no way I'm going to do yoga. And now I'm instructing yoga. There's no way I can sing and travel when I have this ostomy bag. I'm going on tour next week. All these things came true, and I'm really grateful for this team. So I want to share this song that I wrote here at Cedars. I'm going to play the video first so you can see it last year, and then my buddy Greg Sutton's going to come up and play it. Come on up, Greg. This is me at Cedars last year.
All my life, I wanna fly. Now I got my wings, I'm so high. Never wanna come down from the sky, but I'm up, so high.
So this is how I would escape in the hospital every single night, and I want to show you how far it's come and where we're at today.
Yeah. I'm so grateful for all you guys being here today to help the patients. I appreciate you. All my life, I wanna fly. Now I got my wings, I'm so high. I never wanna come down from the sky, baby. I could be right, I could be wrong. I just got the words in my song. You make me feel like I belong, ain't no maybe. All of the pain that life can bring, healed by the love this song can sing. Baby, you mend my broken wings. Let me fly, let me fly, let me fly, let me fly. Dear life, so much strife, it cuts deep just like a knife, but you make it all right, baby. You got me, I got you, and that's all that I could ever see, and that's the way that it's gonna be, ain't no maybe. All of the pain that life can bring, healed by the love this song can sing. Mama, you mend my broken wings. Let me fly, let me fly, let me fly, let me fly. All my life, I wanna fly. Now I got my wings, I'm so high. Never wanna come down from the sky, baby. Pain that life can sing, healed by the love this song can sing. Baby, you mend my broken wings. Let me fly, let me fly, let me fly, let me fly, let me fly.
Thank you, Harmon.
Hey, before we finish, Dr. Spiegel, could you come up for a second? We got a little. Hey. Hey, can we give a hand for Dr. Spiegel for making this happen today?
right.
Is this incredible? Is this great? I remember when this guy came into my room, and I'm just like, really? VR? Give me my pain meds, get out of here.
Oh, man.
But he's been like my big brother, constantly checking in with me, seeing how I'm doing, and I'm so grateful just to be a part of this.
It's all you. It's all you. You're a special guy.
You
Special guy.
give me my dreams back.
Oh.
And
Well,
yeah, we got a little something special for you guys.
so it turns out Harmon has another secret skill. He's a freestyle rapper. So I'm going to help him out now. Here, ready? Ready?
Get it. Let's go. Yeah. 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 Here we go. Here we go. Give it up for Dr. Spiegel. Come on. Hey. Yeah. Here we go. Slow down a little bit. Here we go. Yeah. All right. 3 years ago, Dr. Spiegel had a dream, a visionary like Martin Luther King, that I would not be judged by my pain, but by the content of my being, standing in radical amazement, trying to figure out straight where my days went. 10 months sober and not a day spent, without my knees thanking God for this pavement. Discover my purpose, I'm finding my passion, I'm loving this life and it feels everlasting. I live in abundance, no need for no ration. Switched up my blessing like E from Manasseh, like, hey! Yeah.